Gang.com. Thank you for joining me this evening. Our week ahead is looking awfully mild, maybe even warm at times. We've got 60s, if not eyeing the low 70s later this week, with rain chances holding off until perhaps Thursday night into Friday. Thank you for joining me on these weekly Sunday Sunset Chats. I'm Camden Walker, and don't forget, if you have not checked out on the blog already, we've got our CWG.news/TimeChange article giving you some reasons to think about why we won't be able to fully ever escape, perhaps, the daylight saving time on and off switch, switching our clocks back and forth. And for our latest forecast, go to CWG.news/latest. I wrote this morning's forecast, and shortly on CapitalWeatherGang.com, we will have the PM update ready for you as well. Good evening, David. Thank you so much for tuning in from Facebook. I am Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. Thank you for joining for these weekly Sunday Sunset Chats. Let's talk about when we do see rain chances ramping up Thursday night through perhaps Saturday night into that part of the weekend. How much rain can we expect? Moderate amounts, and nothing too heavy as it appears now, but it remains to be seen how the atmosphere comes together or not for this rain chance later this week. We are eyeing it and trying to, with time, eliminate some of the question marks at the end of this week, but there are chances for raindrops Thursday night, as early as Thursday night into perhaps Friday and the weekend. We will keep you posted. Alex, hello. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. Hello, Peter. Hello, Arlene. Good evening. And Liz, 5 p.m. I know for these weekly Sunday Sunset Chats are getting earlier and earlier, but thank you for joining me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. We are live right now, and yes, look at that sunset at 5:01 p.m. next week on Sunday when you join me for these weekly Q&As. It'll be 4:55 p.m. So evening light is over. Even though, yes, I'm a morning person, I am sad to see all the evening light go. So Liz, indeed, not loving the frost in the morning, you're saying as well. Not too early for frost and freezes in the area. We are actually playing a little bit of catch up. Here's the median date of first frost and freeze. And as you can see, much of Virginia and Maryland should all have their frost and freeze before November 1st, with the exception of places inside the Beltway in DC and downtown Baltimore near the Inner Harbor can be into November and December. But we had some delays in later September and early October, but the growing season is over for most, if not all spots, definitely along I-81, I-95 corridor, I believe, most spots. Maybe a few areas east of the bay along the Delmarva might still have escaped a frost or freeze recently, but we are finally about average for our frost and freeze dates this around the region. Hello, Alex. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. I appreciate that. And Charlene, good evening. And Arlene, 5 p.m. Actually, the sky looks amazing. Oh, excellent. Please make sure you're tagging us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you see any of those awesome sunset shots, please make sure you're tagging us at Capital Weather on Twitter. And here are the addresses for YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. All right, Abby is asking, any chance the weekend could still be as warm as this week is going to be? Abby, I think a cooling trend is on tap for this upcoming weekend. I will give you a preview of Saturday. Let's look ahead to Saturday. The cold front maybe moves through early this weekend, and you can see it with temperatures potentially to the west of the DC Mid-Atlantic region, maybe in the 40s. Now, around the 95 corridor, could we be near 60? It's possible, but there is a lot that has to come together this weekend for us to be more confident, more certain as how the weather systems are going to play out, how the temperatures are going to interact with these weather systems. We could have a little bit of rain, we could have a moderate amount of rain, we could stay a little bit warm, we could stay chilly, we could become chilly. So stay tuned to CapitalWeatherGang.com as we get closer to this weekend. There's a chance it turns cooler during the weekend and our warmth kind of ends maybe on Friday. So that's what I have for you right now. And I just want to be honest with you. The weather data is divergent, very different from one weather model to the next. So we can't be very confident, much less certain about what will happen at the end of this week into this weekend. But I want to give you an idea, kind of an outlook that potentially could get cooler and could get wetter into this weekend. Let's see, we've got Faraday. Thank you so much for tuning in, the kind words. Gary, hello in Portland. Indeed, early today because of these early sunsets. Thank you all for joining me. 5:01 p.m. is tonight's sunset, and I'm on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Appreciate seeing all of you for these weekly Sunday sunset chats. Happy end to daylight savings, says Deborah. Thank you so much. And on that note, make sure you check out our article on the TimeChange at CWG.news/TimeChange and how we might not ever be able to shake the switching of the clocks twice a year. Winter outlook, Rick, we are leaning for, because of La Nina as one component, it might be a little bit mild this winter and maybe a little bit dry, but our official winter outlook is going to come out closer to Thanksgiving, I believe. So stay tuned for that. And of course, our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. We should have the PM update from Greg Porter soon on CapitalWeatherGang.com. That should be out shortly as well. All right, Deborah, no major reason for the Friday magnificent sunset, except I think the sun angle getting lower and lower is doing an interplay with the cloud deck that we have often this time of year, not being able to burn that off with the lower sun. Then we have a spotlight right before the sun is setting, and the sun pillars have been amazing recently. It's happening all over the East Coast, actually. It's just the perfect time of year with the lower sun angle. Hello, Melissa. Thanks for tuning in. And Alex, so far, polar vortex is not in the forecast, and we are not necessarily leaning toward a very bad winter or a very easy winter, but we're gathering our data and we're noting one aspect is La Nina, which I want to make sure everyone has read up on that. That is one component here at CWG.news/La Nina could lead to a mild and perhaps drier winter around the DC area, but that's only one of the ingredients that goes into our winter outlook. All right, we've got Laura, daughter is getting married on Friday. Any chance of no rain? There is a chance, but I want to kind of focus on the forecast with the 60% rain chance that's there. I like this forecast from the National Weather Service because yes, there might be a 40% chance of staying dry, but really it would be hard to go dry at this point completely. For our latest forecast, go to CWG.news/latest. And yes, we've been talking about the question marks at the end of the week into the weekend. Our rain chances for the week overall do hold off, it looks like, until maybe Thursday night or Friday. Question marks remain. Does the rain and chilly air move back in for the weekend? We're leaning that way right now, but plenty could change between now and the weekend. All right, Rebecca, roses are still in bloom in Frederick County. Excellent. They have escaped the frost, which may have been patchy around you. That's great to hear. Nick, Frederick County in a snowstorm, that's going to take, not on the horizon just yet. It's going to take at least a couple weeks. All right. Gary, thanks for the report on the connectivity. Let me know if it persists. Rick, thank you so much for tuning in. Rebecca, time to bring your hand-knit wool creations. Yes, please stay warm this weekend when temperatures could get a little bit cooler. And let's look at that really quick. We've got a preview of Saturday temperatures for you. Could be 40s well west of town and 50s, maybe near 60 in Richmond. But a lot could change for this upcoming weekend forecast. But here's a preview. It's low confidence, but this is the best we have, the best information available right now. And we could see kind of 50s around the 95 corridor and perhaps some 40s in West Virginia and points westward, northwestward from there. All right. Arlene, thanks. I'm glad you have no connectivity with me and that it's all good on your internet end. Perfect. Rebecca, you're enjoying the sunsets as well. And David, sunny on Thursday and you have an eye doctor appointment. I am glad that the rain chances can probably hold off for until Thursday night into Friday for you this week. So here's the forecast at a glance. Internet connectivity seems okay. And we've got our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And this is my forecast from this morning. Shortly, if not already, on CapitalWeatherGang.com, we should have Greg Porter's PM update on the blog very quickly, if not already. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Thank you so much for tuning in for these weekly Sunday sunset chats. Yes, unfortunately, they are getting earlier and earlier. Time change. You can go to that latest article, CWG.news/timechange. We will probably, it argues, not be able to shake switching the clocks twice a year. Rain chances, moderate chance. Starting Thursday night into maybe the weekend, we start seeing these rain chances add up into a moderate, perhaps half-inch range for points starting Thursday night into the weekend. So we are probably dry, probably dry until Thursday night. So at least we are good until then. But just want to keep you posted. We could see some dampness starting Thursday night into the weekend. Bye, Alex. Thanks for tuning in. And Kenny, it's that time of year. Yes, indeed. And Gail, your spray painting outside this week, which day is least breezy? I am glad you asked. Tomorrow, here's a nice map for you. Look at those peak gusts. Not much wind to speak of tomorrow. 10, maybe 12 miles per hour is the peak gust. I think Monday and Tuesday are the weather picks of this week. So I say get outside before and do that painting, Gail, if you need to this week before breezes pick up again Thursday into Friday. And for the latest forecast details, go to CWG.news/latest. We're always available 24/7 on CapitalWeatherGang.com. Greg Porter's PM update should be posted there shortly. All right. What else do I have from you all? Gary, yes, some trees on the tidal basin turning into a pretty bronze color soon. Let's talk about that fall foliage. Let me go down here to our foliage reports. We've got that available at CWG.news/foliage. Peak color is approaching the DC region and the tidal basin. Those cherry trees are going to look mighty fine perhaps in a week's time. So stay tuned for that. I can't wait to see more of your pictures on Twitter and Facebook. Make sure you're tagging us. I love seeing those uploads anytime you send those to us. Oh, and at CWG.news/photos, you can also upload onto our Flickr page those high definition shots as well. But as you can see here, foliage is finally getting going. We're kind of catching up to our averages, which are as such late October, early November. We're a little bit behind, but we're finally playing some catch up on those atmospheric averages, and the trees are reacting to this cooler air that we've had up until our warming trend that really takes hold this work week. But we're getting there. Some pretty foliage coming about, and much of the region turning into brilliant colors. And we'll have an update later this week on the foliage. But here's our latest at CWG.news/foliage for you. So thanks as always for tuning in now earlier and earlier here on our weekly Sunday Sunset Chats. I'm Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. As you can see, tonight, 5:01 p.m. sunset. Next Sunday, when you talk to me for these Sunday Sunset Chats, it'll be 4:55 p.m. So tune in extra early next Sunday. But we're right now live on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Really appreciate you tuning in. And let's look ahead really quick. We've got some outlooks we can look at really for next work week. Maybe staying a little bit cool after this warming trend for this work week. So when this kind of outlook leans cooler, what are we talking about? Well, for today, our average high temperature is 61 degrees. For this map, that is valid. For next work week, our average high temperature goes down 2 degrees to 59 for an average high at DCA Airport, 42 for a low at DCA Airport. Now, keep that in mind, our average low temperature right here, 42 degrees, that's about as warm as we get for a high temperature in January. So we are getting cooler and cooler. So when you see this map here leaning below average, probabilistically, probably for temperatures next work week, after this warm work week coming up, which we might see upper 60s, low 70s, we could be in the chilly 50s for next work week behind this kind of slightly warm spell for this week. So just keep that in mind. Our warmth does not last. And looking ahead for precipitation wise, next work week, it's kind of maybe near normal for the region next work week as well in the kind of 8 to 14 day period. And tropics, let's take a look at that really quick. Still active. We still got Wanda out there becoming post-tropical today, and probably heading toward Ireland and the United Kingdom as a post-tropical cyclone. We do have a small chance for this disturbance off of the East Coast developing and going out to sea. So that's good news, no threats to land. But let's take a look at our list here for names. Wanda is now, we're crossing that off the list. We go, if we have any more storms, which isn't very likely, but if we do have more tropical systems or even subtropical systems in the Atlantic before November 30th, when hurricane season ends, we'll be pulling from this World Meteorological Organization supplemental list from the WMO. Adria is the first name on this list now that we have retired Greek names. So we'll stay tuned to see if we do go into that supplemental list. Unlikely as it stands now, but hurricane season does not end until November 30th. How are we doing with droughts or not in the region? In the Mid-Atlantic, we're in pretty good shape, except maybe, let's say, North Carolina is experiencing some spotty abnormal dryness, and along the coastal there, tidewaters areas of North Carolina, some Slight moderate drought has developed, but overall it's looking pretty good for seasonally speaking. Looking out through January 31st, we're in pretty good shape east of the Mississippi River, so that's some good news. And my allergy sufferers, I'm not sure if you've tuned in yet tonight. We've got only a little bit of mold in the air. We're doing pretty good since trees, weeds, and grass are all going dormant right now for the season. So yay, fewer allergies to speak of as we get closer and closer to winter. All right, our latest forecast is available at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. The PM update should be available shortly from Greg Porter. And here is your forecast at a glance. It is a mild to warm work week. Upper 60s to low 70s are possible, and rain chances should hold off until Thursday night and Friday. Perhaps, though, lasting into the weekend, there are some question marks that we need to clarify for you and kind of get into higher confidence ranges. There's too many different weather data points as we get toward the end of the week, so our forecast becomes lower confidence as we get into the weekend. Laura, the allergy queen, self-anointed, I love that. So thanks for tuning in and seeing that allergies are generally under control except for a little bit of mold and mildew in the air. Let's see, what else do I see from you all? Good night, Gary. Thanks for tuning in. And Rebecca, thanks for tuning in. You're most welcome. And Laura is very happy for the allergy forecast, which luckily is indeed under control except for a little bit of mold and mildew spores in the air. All right, in the next couple minutes before I sign off, let me know if you have any other questions or comments. We have our latest forecast right here at CWG.news/latest. And don't forget to check out our TimeChange article at CWG.news/TimeChange, which argues we probably cannot permanently ever put to bed these twice yearly time changes with the clocks. Even if you find them annoying, they serve a purpose. Here's the rain that we could accumulate by the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly chats. We have a moderate amount of rain potentially, maybe 0.5, a half inch to a full inch of rain, depending on whether a storm system does develop for the upcoming end of this week into the weekend. So don't take this as gospel. Do not take this as a direct exact amount, but I wanted you to see that as rain chances increase Thursday night, Friday into the weekend, that a moderate amount of rain is possible, but we are dry until potentially up till Thursday night. Winds, not much of a bother this week until maybe Thursday, Friday, but here it is in the next 24 hours, a good time for those outdoor activities. I think Gail earlier wanted to paint. Monday, Tuesday look like the pick of the week, the weather picks of the week, Monday and Tuesday. And part of that is because of these winds being tame and behaving Monday and Tuesday as well. So hopefully that is helpful to your outdoor plans as well. And of course, foliage. We've got our latest foliage report at CWG.news/foliage, and the map above there from the foliagereport.com showing further and further incursions of color as we get toward the DC area. So I hope that is something you're looking forward to. We're finally getting toward peak color, and a little bit behind this time of year. Here are the averages, but we're still kind of in early November, playing a little bit of catch up, kind of catching up to average around the I-95 corridor and points eastward. So we got some color to look forward to in the next week, that is for sure. All right, so we've got Daniel, school field day trip scheduled for Friday. As you probably have seen, we have a 60% chance of some rain on Friday, but could it change? Yes. I mean, at least 40% chance of staying dry is fair because there are so many question marks with regards to a system moving into the area Friday. Does it become a stronger coastal low pressure system as an upper level low moves off the coast as well out and past our region? It's possible. So we have to watch how these atmospheric components move, and do they combine? Do they coalesce and become a stronger storm and throw us more rain and breezes? It's possible, but we will need to keep an eye on it. And I'm sorry, we had a wedding earlier on the chat here, and it sounds like Daniel's got field day. It's worth just having a plan B in the back of your mind, but also not worth canceling your plans for Friday just yet. Those question marks go both ways. Things could improve and things might get a little bit wetter and a little bit breezier. So we will see. Stay tuned to us, of course. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. And lunch on Tuesday, Carol, sounds awesome. Please get outside Monday and Tuesday. Those are the weather picks of the week. Upper 60s to low 70s are possible this week before it's over. This is a mild, warm week. Rain chances hold off till maybe Thursday night into Friday. And Eric, thanks for tuning in. No worries about being late. I'm glad you're getting in some gardening. The weather is decent for that. And indeed, David says time change is easier with those self-changing clocks. Latest on the time change here at capitalweathergang.com. Go directly to CWG.news/timechange. I'm Camden Walker, wishing you all a great, enjoyable work week, and I will see you early at 4:55 p.m. next Sunday for these no more evening light Sunday sunset chats, these live Q&As I very much enjoy, and I'll see you next Sunday night pretty early at 4:55. Camden Walker signing off. Have a good weather week, and anytime you need us, we're at Capital